morning. You're listening to Insurance Matchmaking, your path to health, life, and Medicare coverage with Matt Libby Insurance. And now, sharing his knowledge, here's your host, Matt Libby.
Good morning. Welcome back to Insurance Matchmaking. Just me, but I do have some news. Our office is growing again. We've added a new receptionist, and so if you call in next week, you will probably hear a new voice on the phone. But Lena's starting with us and going to be part-time for now. That could turn into full-time. She might go the route that Bree went and decide she wants to be an agent too. And then we'll be looking for another receptionist. So it's a different way. Not all insurance agencies grow that way, but we seem to be growing that way, and I like it. Looking forward to getting another agent or another team member, not necessarily another agent. And one of the things I'm excited about is we're starting her here in July, not at the end of September, 1st of October, right when we're already in the middle of enrollment season. That's what happened with me a couple of years ago with Bree, and it was Kalia kind of come in at that same time frame that we didn't get somebody going until right there at enrollment time. So we're going to have a little bit of time to get some training and get things going and hopefully be more efficient. It's going to be a really busy enrollment year this year, and it's election year, so that always throws a wrench in it for us, just because we kind of just get lost in the noise. And I guess it's the best way to put it. There's the political ads. You're not seeing the Medicare ads because the election hasn't happened yet, because basically the election ads take over. They take priority over all the other advertising on like TV and radio, and you're getting a lot of mail. So even though mail a lot of times is a good source for us, that it hurts us during the election time. And then once the election's over, people start seeing the commercials talking about Medicare and healthcare enrollment, and go, oh yeah, I need to do that. But we've lost the whole month of October and usually about half of November to that time because of the election. And then now everybody's thinking about Thanksgiving and Christmas, and you still have to get your enrollments done. So it gets a little crazy, and we do a lot of last minute stuff. And I think that's what gets us a little, I don't know, irritated is not the right word, but just flustered, is because we usually end up doing a lot of stuff. It's all that last minute, and we're like, oh, we're so glad when the enrollment season's over. And then it's kind of bittersweet, it's almost like a letdown, because it's like, I'm not busy. Why am I here? Maybe I should just go home early. And it's a psychological thing, and it's just, as I joke, October to December, we're really busy. The rest of the year we have to work, and it is, it is a sales business. When you're doing insurance, we get paid by helping our clients, and then we get paid by the insurance company, which again is good news for the consumer. Is our advice is free to you. It doesn't cost you anything to use us. Doesn't cost anything for you to have us enroll you, but it does. It's kind of the old saying. It's worth what you pay for it. It's like, if it's free, you got what you paid for, and it's like, our service is free to you, but we are working to get paid. So there is a value there. But the good news is you don't have to come in with your checkbook to write us a check. Now, we do ask when you come to an appointment you don't have to bring your checkbook, as long as you have those little numbers at the bottom that say routing and account number. We don't take money from you. You don't pay us. You don't write us a check. But most insurance companies are not going to let us sign you up and then they're going to send you a bill and you pay later. Now, through the marketplace, you can do that, but even then, as soon as you sign up, you're getting an email that says, hey, click here to pay your account. But the insurance companies, they prefer you use your automatic bank draft. In fact, a lot of companies will give you a discount just because you've got it coming directly out of your bank. I mean, there's one of my Medicare supplement carriers, I think it's $5 off if you take an automatic bank draft. Another one, I'm trying not to use company names, but one plan's out there, and it's a big name plan for years, has offered $2 off a month off of your premium, or a $24 discount if you pay the whole year at one time. They brought up another plan here, another series of plans, and I don't know if I want to try to explain that right now, but this new brand name of their Medicare supplement also does the option of paying monthly by your automatic bank draft, and it's giving a $4 discount. But if you pay for the year, it's still only a $24 discount. So it actually saves you to set it up on an automatic bank draft. I encourage all my clients to do the automatic bank draft. And I know a lot of people, I don't want anybody in my bank. And I get that. But it's actually probably the safest way to pay your bill, because if there's ever a discrepancy, you can always go to your bank and say, hey, I didn't authorize this, and they can go after whoever took the money up. But if you're paying it regularly monthly, they recognize that, you've set that up. The other thing is, if you put a check in the mail and mail in a bill somewhere, that check, that mail can get stolen, and they can catch that check. So, or your bill can get lost in the mail, and your premium doesn't get paid. So that's another downside there. The other is some plans will let you pay by credit card, or, and of course you use your debit card as a credit. And I'll do that in a pinch. I don't like to use that method. And one of the reasons that I don't like to use that method is that's not as consistent as your automatic bank draft. The one risk you're running on the automatic bank draft is the money's not there when it's supposed to come out. But usually, even if that happens, you can call in customer service and say, oh, my paycheck was late. You can go ahead and run that now, things like that. Or sometimes they'll try it again after a day, and hopefully it'll go through. But the problem with the credit cards there's a lot of reasons that credit card is no longer value. Everybody has an expiration date on their credit card. And even if it's got 5 years on it, something may happen in that 5 years that you have to change cards. That card, you've got the magnetic strip. It's no longer working at the gas pump or at the checkout at the grocery store. So you need to get a new card to replace it. When they replace that card, they change that little PIN number or CVV code. And the carrier has to have that code or they can't process your payment. Now, I know I've had some automatic billing like that they go ahead and they just adapt it, even though it's the new code. But I did have one carrier that never did that. You had to, and I couldn't change it. That's why I prefer to do the bank draft one. I can't change your payment method once we set it up. I can take in that information, put it on your application, and get you set up and have your policy maybe starting the very next day. But if you need to change your payment method, I can't do it for you. You have to contact the customer service and set that up. So that's why that happens a lot less if you've got it set up on a bank. There's times people change banks, and that happens. But there's so many reasons that card can quit working. Like I said, the magnetic strip. You lose the card. You need to get a new card. Somebody tries to charge something fraudulent on your account, so they freeze the card and send you a new card. There's all those different reasons why you're getting a different card. And I know some companies will even send you a new card like 2 years before the card you have is going to expire. They just decide it's time to send a new card. So it just really is more convenient if you set that up on automatic bank draft. If you don't want to do it that way, that's your choice. But I do recommend that for those reasons. We like to be able to do things for you right away and with very little effort on your part. But like I said, unfortunately, changing your payment method is something the carriers won't let us. Maybe a couple, but most of them we're either going to have to get you call in with a 3-way call to get you connected, or say, well, here's the number. If you want me to call in with you, we can. But I can't do it for you. You have to be on the phone, even if I call in. So that's one way to help. The other thing, as I mentioned, we got a new voice answering the phone on when you call in next week. Please leave a voicemail when you call. We get notified of your calls. We get notified if you leave a voicemail. I'll get a text transcript of it in an email. And a lot of times, if we know why you called, we can take care of your problem instead of playing phone tag with you to get back and find out what it was you needed us to look into. And sometimes, if you're calling before you went to work, sometimes you don't get back to us till you got out of work. And then whatever it is you're wanting us to take care of, we can't take care of because the insurance company customer service is now closed. So if you can leave those voicemails, it really helps. And I know people don't like to leave a voicemail, but when I say leave a voicemail, hey, Matt, this is Bob, please call me, that's not what I mean either. Hey, Matt, this is Bob. I got this weird notice from my insurance company saying that my policy was going to cancel at the end of the month, or they weren't paying this claim. Can you find out what's going on? We can then start the research on that. And a lot of times, I had somebody, and I used the story. I got to be careful here to keep this PG. Had a client call in because the carrier was denying their prescription. And I was like, well, I don't understand. It was, I looked it up when you got your plan. They'd had the plan for about 6 months, and their doctor prescribed for them. And what happened was this particular prescription has a bona fide medical use, but it's a lower dose. And the higher dose is a blue pill, if you get my drift. And so they didn't pay for that. So I didn't have to call the insurance company and say, oh, I understand what happened. Because I remember when we looked this up, when you were signing up, we figured out that this pill, your prescription, it was okay as long as it was for this purpose, and you were good. Your doctor prescribed the wrong dosage. You need to call your doctor and say, hey, I can't take that dosage. My insurance won't pay for that, or they're just going to have to pay for it themselves. But we didn't have to call the carrier. But that was one of those situations. Now, I did have to talk to them to figure it out, but it was, as I was saying, sometimes we don't even have to call the insurance company to get the answer for you. Sometimes, we know. And not just I know. A lot of times my staff can know the answer. Or a lot of times you call and say, I need to find out this, this, and this, and I'll hand it off to one of them and say, okay, check on this for me. Call the carrier or whatever. So if you leave the message, or when you're talking to one of them, tell them why you're calling. They're not just trying to be gatekeepers. They're actually wanting to help you, because a lot of times if you tell them why you're calling, they go, oh, I can get the answer for you for that, and take it and be done. Because generally, they're not going to interrupt me when I'm in an appointment. I don't answer my phone when I'm in an appointment with another person. When I'm in an appointment with you, that's your time, and I don't answer the phone for somebody, when somebody else calls. I can call them back, and again, if you leave a voicemail, I know why. And sometimes I'm driving, and it's just not a good time to try to take the call and answer it. So we'll get those things going so you can have that assistance. So looks like we're coming up on our commercial break, and we'll get into some of the things that are changing here in the future.
Hi, this is David Price, your local Twin Lakes Business Solution Consultant. When was the last time you evaluated your company's communication needs? Twin Lakes Advanced Gig Speed Fiber Internet enables advanced capabilities for all types of businesses, helping you create a better customer experience and more efficient team. And the best part, Twin Lakes is based right here in the Upper Cumberland, so you get fast, friendly, and local support. Contact me today at 800-644-8582 or visit us online at twinlakes.net to learn more.
Looking to spruce up your home without breaking the bank? Visit Habitat Restore for incredible deals on furniture, appliances, home decor, and more. Plus, when you shop at Habitat Restore, you're not just getting great deals, you're also supporting your local community. Are you looking to make a meaningful impact? Consider donating to Habitat Restore. Your generosity can make a world of difference. Habitat Restore, open Tuesday through Saturday, 10 a.m. to 6 p.m., and located at 560 South Jefferson Avenue in Cookeville.
And now, back to Insurance Matchmaking with Matt Libby Insurance.
All right, welcome back. Talking about leaving the voicemails and things like that, but I want to tell you a little bit some of the crazy things that are going on that have hit in our office this week. And you've probably heard me talk about in the past how people are going and switching people's ACA health plans without their knowledge. They maybe talk to the person or talk to somebody, and they were answering an ad, and one of the biggest offenders is they'll tell you you're going to get you a $500 food card. Well, once they got your name and your birthday, they know what state you're calling from. They could look up your information on the healthcare marketplace and manipulate your application and get you assigned to another plan. Now, one of the things the marketplace did, I embrace the reason. I'm not embracing the process. The process is not working the way we understood it would work. And what they did was they put in a couple things here recently that we have to have, it doesn't have to be written, it could be a recording, but we have to have something saying that they approved us to be their agent. So we've been doing that. It's another extra step in getting the process started. And, when we say we're going to send you a couple links to things we need you to fill out before we can help you, if you come to the office, yes, we can do those at the office. But a lot of times, some of those things we're asking for ahead of time, we can be putting that in. Like who your doctors are, what prescriptions you take, what insurance you've had, or who else getting insurance, and we can have all that stuff kind of set up, and it really will shorten the appointment time, and we can just put that information in between other calls and things like that. But they did the CMS consent form. We didn't have a problem with that. It's like I said, it adds an extra step, but it gives us, and we're able to prove that, yes, we had your permission to help you. So I kind of like that. I wish I didn't have to do it, but I like the reason why they're having the fact that they're taking steps to alleviate the problem. And the next one was that we had to send you an email with the proposal of what we're doing, and it does, but it doesn't stop us from enrolling you on that. But it is showing that we did show you, we did go over the choices. That could change down the road. They could say, yes, you have to send it to them, and they have to acknowledge it and actually, check off on approving it. We haven't had to do that just yet on the marketplace plans. But the newest change, well, there's one new change, and I still haven't figured out how it's helping, is the enrollment platform we use. We have to sync that platform with the CMS portal for the marketplace, and we used to have to do that every 12 days. So every once in a while you'd be doing something, they go, oh, you got to reintegrate your account. And so, okay, you got to click, sign in, get the text or email with the verification code, put it in, and then you're ready to go. So it's just a little extra step. It's just a little frustrating when you're getting ready to do something and go, oh, I got to do that first. They've changed that now to 12 hours. So if you were working on something at the end of the day and then went to go to do it first thing in the morning, well, you've got to go through that process again. Or if you during enrollment season is going to be fun because we have some pretty long days a lot of times, and those aren't just 12-hour days. So you could sign on at 8 o'clock in the morning, and then at 8 o'clock at night you've got to redo it again just so you can finish up that night. And I'm not really sure what security that's enabling. But the latest one was a rule just took effect this last week and I think it's a great rule. The problem is the way they're administering it doesn't seem to be working, or doesn't seem to be going the way they said it was going to. And what it is, to stop people just going in and changing somebody's plan. Because what they would do is they would go in and update the person's income so they got more tax credit, so it would lower their premium. Or they would just move them to a plan that was a zero premium because it was a lower benefit. You had more cost sharing. You were going to have a higher deductible and things like that. But there's nothing coming out of your check, so you're maybe not seeing that your plan changed. And so that's where most people got caught was, some people check their bank account very regularly and will say, hey, why didn't this charge come out? But most of the time when you see when it comes to your bank account, you don't necessarily say, oh, did I pay that, or didn't I already pay that, versus what is this coming out of my account? So they set you up on a zero premium plan, and you can go a couple months before if you're not going to the doctor for anything and you didn't really notice that you weren't paying the other bill, they're getting commission on you for a couple of months. Now, I don't understand how anybody can make a long-term business out of doing it that way, and that's why I don't think it's really just unscrupulous independent agents. I think it's a conspiracy, but you have to do a lot of changing people for that to be lucrative. So it has to be driven by a organization pushing all these people to do these and changing. And I think what's happening is they're encouraging these people to do this, and then when they get caught, they'll fire them because they can't sign anybody up anymore. But the couple of months that they got commissions, they got those commissions. They just fired the person that got them for them. And again, the turnover, you're not keeping a consistent business that way. So I'm not really sure where they're going to benefit from that. But anyway, the change now is if you weren't the original, if you're not associated with the the original marketplace application, then you have to call in to the marketplace with that individual and verify that yes, they are working with you and they do want you to help them change their plan. I don't have a problem with that. I think, and it should be that simple. You call in, yes, I'm working with Matt now. I don't even know what happened to the other agent that helped me 2 years ago. They don't answer my phone calls. I've got a local agent now that I want to work with, whatever the case there is. And then we become your agent then to be able to help you with your marketplace plan. Well, I had 2 instances this week, and the first time I noticed I had a problem, and I thought it was just maybe because I was trying to do it too soon. I had a client who's going on Medicare in October, but they were my client already. I had that person, I had their marketplace plan. Well, once you go on Medicare, you've got to cancel that marketplace plan, and I generally do that for my clients, and it's a really simple process, or at least it was. And I would just go online and click the button to cancel the plan, put the date down for it to cancel, because you don't want to cancel today, but you want it to cancel in the future, but so you don't have the overlap. You're not paying for insurance that you can no longer use. And I would go through the process, and the page would like reload, like it was processing it, and then when it got done, they're still enrolled to December 31st in the plan, because that's when the plan will change. It has to be either replaced or re-enrolled in open enrollment, and it would be automatic if they were staying with it, which we don't want that automatic to happen. So that was my first issue, and I just thought, okay, maybe I'm just trying to do it too soon. Well, then yesterday I found out, unfortunately, one of my clients' spouse passed away. I was like, I can take care of that. I'll go in, cancel it, and be done, and they won't have to worry about it. Yeah, not so much. And now I'm fighting with the system to try to prove that I was the original agent to begin with. And that's the thing that really frustrated me, was I was the agent that enrolled this person. I didn't re-enroll them from somebody else's plan. I put them on the marketplace. So why it's not letting me process the cancellation, I don't know. And I'm actually working with the marketplace help desk. Emailed them yesterday, and then they asked me for more information, so I'm waiting for them again to answer that. Then the other one was just kind of the saga here of the working with the marketplace. Bree had a couple she was working with yesterday, and I don't know if they had worked with another agent or they just kind of had started things themselves, and so the marketplace account already existed, but they weren't on the they weren't doing it right or something. They didn't get the results they thought they should get. So they got us to help them. So Bree worked with this couple, figured out which plan was going to be the right plan for them, went through everything, and then went and processed the application. Now, this is where I would have thought it would have said, hey, you need to call the marketplace. You're not the original agent on this, and then be able to do it. It let her go through everything except for when it came to the time to, okay, this is the plan we're enrolling in, apply your electronic signature, and you're enrolled. That's where it stopped her. So she had access to all their personal information anyway, but just the enrolling them is what didn't happen. Now, my thinking is it should have been on the front end when she started it to start the application and editing their application. That's when she should have been stopped. So, like I said, the system is the reason for it, I think, is a great idea. The system is not working for that. So that's some things there. Oh, just wanted to point out, Bree and Kalia set up a back-to-school giveaway that's tied to our Facebook page and been getting a lot of response on that. I'm really enjoying that, getting some activity going there. So you can go to mattlibbyinsurance.com. Facebook.com/MattLibbyInsurance, and that's where you can enter. They're going to do the drawing on the 29th, and it's just one of those, hey, like the post, tag 2 people, and share the post, and that gets you entered into some back-to-school supplies. So anybody can participate, whether you got kids or grandkids, or you just want to maybe take a chance on winning the school supplies and donate them to a school. We don't care what you do with them once you win, but that helps us get the word out. as I always ask people, you maybe listen to this on YouTube or you maybe just listen to me on the radio, but we do have the recordings of our past shows on insurancematchmaking.com with the links to the different YouTubes. So you can go back and listen to past shows. And as again I said before, if you know somebody you think should be on my show, please, send them my way or send me their info that I can reach out to them. They don't have to be in insurance. Obviously, I'm going to put veterans and other nonprofits, but I've got some other people coming in. I've got some guests lined up for next month that I think are going to be some good guests. And I usually can figure some way to kind of tie it into insurance. And sometimes they'll ask a question that I didn't realize that a lot of people have been asking or would like an answer for. So, if you would like to be on the radio, maybe you just started a business. I'm active with the Chamber of Commerce. We try to get to ribbon cuttings and network with other businesses. So if you're looking to grow your business, hey, this is a free plug. So we can come in and talk about what you're doing. And like I said, especially if you got a nonprofit that you're passionate about, or, you're in a nonprofit and you got an event coming up and you just kind of want to get a little more publicity out there for that. I love, it's part of being part of the community. So come join it here on the radio. You can go to insurancematchmaking.com and post in the comments there. And what I can do is I can send you a link. I've got a special calendar link just for being on the radio show, and so you can go and look at the calendar and look at what date that you are available to join me on the radio. We do this recording right now. We're doing it on Thursday morning. That might change in the future, but whatever the date is on that calendar app will be it, or I'll reach out to you and say, not going to be able to do it that day. Can we change to another day? But if somebody's already booked to be on that day, then it won't show up as being available. And that way you can just look at your calendar instead of, I always say, we don't play email tag trying to figure out a date that fits that we both can get together and do it. So check that out. InsuranceMatchmaking.com. Until next week, see you on the radio.
You've been listening to Insurance Matchmaking with Matt Libby, your path to health, life, and Medicare coverage with Matt Libby Insurance.